Jordan, you are our official Love Island correspondent, and normally we would be talking every week about who's coupling up with who in the Love Island villa and who's pulling who for chats.
Yeah.
And it's all very lighthearted, and you know the story with the villa because you were in there last summer. But I never thought I would be standing across from you now, talking about something way more serious, which is the unfortunate and tragic news that Caroline Flack took her own life over the weekend. I was just saying this to you before we started recording that I literally let out a gasp when I heard the news, and that's coming from someone that has never met her before in my life.
I know, it's so sad. I mean, I was with Michael in the gym when it happened, when we heard, and it was just so shocking. She was such a well-known person. She was a special talent, a special friend.
Yeah.
She's got a special family around her, so it was such shocking news, and just goes to show, even though whether you have a blue tick or you don't have a blue tick, everyone's got feelings, and I think, for anyone that's listening, there needs to be a line between there needs to be a line between what's genuinely of public interest and what could potentially lead to harassment, because people have feelings. So I think it's sad.
And I want to talk to you about that more, because I just wanted to read out what you said. Obviously, when you heard the news, you wrote on your Instagram, "Rest in paradise, Love Island Queen. Seriously, if you're reading this and you troll online, go give your head a wobble.
Yeah.
You need to understand the effects it can have on people's well-being." And I think that's so powerful. And I think there's this debate going on in the media at the moment. Is it the individual person? Should we be blaming individual people, or is it society?
I think it's a combination of things, but what I do think it's something that, I mean, I dealt with a lot when I did lead the villa. Is trolling is a real thing, and I think people write stuff on social media for a reaction, because to be controversial, and then once one person says it, another person will say it. I got trolled a lot for the way that I look and stuff like that, and I'm a strong character, so but it does still hurt me. So I think people just need to think about other people's feelings. So anyone that's listening to this, I think, how many more times is it going to happen?
Absolutely. And I don't know if you were listening to what Laura Whitmore was saying on her radio show over the weekend. She did something so powerful on her BBC radio show. I have no idea how she was able to go to work the next day after finding out. Obviously, she was very close to Caroline.
Yeah.
And she said that the show itself, Love Island, isn't the problem.
No.
It's the people outside the show that are the problem. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely part of it. Yeah, 100%. I think people just need to be more considerate. Like I say, people have feelings, and we, even though someone might have X amount of followers, you still see everything. Like, you see every comment, and it gets you down. You know what I mean? It's humanity. I feel like we need to be more morally responsible as humans to care about the way other people could be thinking, and be more considerate. Yeah,
and I want to chat more about like how you felt after you left the Love Island villa, because I know that must have been very overwhelming. But I suppose just for a second, getting back to Caroline, like, I was just thinking earlier, how I was looking at her from an outsider, and I suppose the reason that I was so devastated by the news is she was definitely someone that I looked up to, because she's in the same industry as me. So I went, oh my God, look at this woman. Like, she did I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. She did The Extra Factor, and she's now the presenter of the biggest show in the UK and watched by millions in Ireland as well. And I every time I saw her, I said, Jesus, she's so bubbly, and she seemed like a natural flirt and someone that everyone really loved, and she had a laugh with,
Yeah, and I don't want to make this about me, she's such a likeable person, and everyone that, I met her a good few times, she was such a lovely person, and just it felt really close to home. So, it hit me and the boys hard, and everyone that I'm close with, like Lucy and Joanna, we all had a moment. We all, checked on each other and just said, I'm here for you if you ever need to talk, because I think that it's important to have them strong networks around you if you are going through stuff, maybe at school or in the workplace, just wherever. Like, it's important to not just speak to people, but realise that if you are in a place where you feel it's quite a dark place, and you're suppressing how you're feeling, it's not going to change overnight, but it's going to be a process. And talking about it with people that you're close with, in your family, with your friends, with your counsellor, it's going to help in time. But it's about piecing the jigsaw together and being strong, really. So
it seemed as well like Caroline loved the show so much, and she took kind of personal responsibility for all of the contestants individually. And I know a few former contestants spoke about how much she helped them when they came out of the villa with the pressure that social media, has when you come out, you're not expecting, you don't really know what to expect, I imagine.
No.
And then all of a sudden, you're checking your Instagram and like, oh my God, that's great. You've gone up like, to 1 million followers. And then all of a sudden you're probably checking your DMs and there's things that you didn't realise people thought about you, and you start feeling like really self-conscious. And at the end of the day, like, I know you were saying you were a strong character, but like that could get the strongest people down.
No, 100%. I mean, it got to the point where me personally, I had to block certain words from being commented on my pictures. So it's definitely upsetting. I think people need to just think before you troll.
Yeah.
That's just the catchphrase I want to get out there. Think before you troll.
And is there any one memory that you have about Caroline to do with the show? Funny or sad?
I remember when we was at the reunion, and obviously that's the first time that everybody gets back together. And we was there, and then seeing Caroline like near the bar, and we just looked at each other and just like give each other I was like shots, and I was like, "What's your favourite shot?" and then we both said tequila at the same time, and did a couple of tequilas together. So yeah, she was fun. She was a really fun person.
Yeah,
bubbly. Even though she like you say, she was heavily invested in the show. She'd never sort of form an opinion on it all based on what she felt. She'd just get to know you as you. So I can respect her for that. And she was loved by everyone. Like no one's got a bad word to say about her. So yeah, rest in peace to Caroline. And it's a shame that she had to go through that on her own. She did feel alone, because no one should be made to feel like that. And I feel sad, and my heart goes out to her family and her close friends. And yeah, it's just a sad time for everyone.
Yes, sad time for everyone. But I love, and I feel it would be nice to leave this interview on a nice note. And I think that's a beautiful memory that you had, that she was a very, I suppose we as outsiders that didn't know her saw her as a bubbly, fun-loving character. And you've just said there that's exactly who she was and what you saw when you got her.
Exactly, yeah.
And I suppose advice to anyone that's listening right now is, if you are going through something that we were talking about, that there is lines available. Pieta House are open 24 hours. And, if you're talking to someone and they don't get what you're saying, or they're not listening to you, please talk to someone else. Because I think 100%. Sometimes that's an issue as well. Sometimes people don't want to listen, but find the person that wants to listen to you, and don't give up.
Yeah, and realise that it's going to be a process. It's not something that's going to change. It might change in a day. It might take a week or a couple of months, but it will change. So don't give up and just keep talking to people around you. And
do you think out of this tragic story that something good will happen, that we all do become kinder to one another? Do you think the media will change, or do you think unfortunately this is just the way things are gone?
I hope so. I mean, I feel like us as humanity, we need to consider other people's feelings more, aside from social media, aside from what's controversial and how many likes something's going to get, and saying stuff for a reaction. I feel like we need to be more morally responsible to each other. Yeah. Because that's what God taught us. So yeah, I hope so. I do hope so. Yeah. The message. I think it has to, though. It does. I think it has to. It's as simple as that. It has to. I think the message that everyone is taking from this, and I hope that it sticks, is just be kinder, because you never, ever, ever know what anyone is going through. Like I said, we're just like just because people in the public eye, if they're on TV, we're still exactly the same as everyone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we can still feel down. Words hurt us. We're not made of thick skin just because. Do you know what I mean? Just because people are in the public eye. So I think just treat others how you would want to be treated. It's like same as in a school place. It's the same thing. Everyone has feelings. So I feel like I just want people to remember that. Yeah, just because Caroline had over 1 million Instagram followers doesn't mean that she's not a person. Exactly. or that she doesn't go through the same emotions that everyone else does. All the same emotions. Yeah, nerves, excitement, being scared, anxiety. Totally. Depression, everything. So it's the same. Powerful message, and thank you so much for coming into us tonight in Red FM. Thank you. To chat about the legend. It's good to finally meet you. Exactly. On a lighter note, because we've been chatting for so long about Love Island. Yeah. I mean, I was just at Mint Cork. Yeah. So that's what I'm over for. So yeah, it's nice to pop in and see you, definitely. Totally. And we definitely will be talking about lighter hearted things in the coming weeks, but it didn't feel right this week to come on and talk about Love Island. But I suppose, Caroline seems like a person that wanted the show to go on, so that's what we will do. But I'm delighted that we had a chat, and anyone that's listening right now, if they can take anything away from it, get help if you're not feeling good, and be kind. Yeah. Agreed.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you so much.